Welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, the #1 crypto show on Rumble, of course, powered by our friends at Solum Global, with your host, George Ballantine, and myself, Lance Migliaccio, the Crypto Bros. And what is this? It's your ultimate deep dive into everything crypto, blockchain, and decentralized finance. And we don't care whether you're a seasoned investor or a newbie just stepping into the world of digital assets for the very first time. We're going to bring you expert insights, top interviews, exciting new projects, breaking news, and game-changing innovations shaping the future of digital finance. Because on this show, in crypto, we trust. George B., 7 a.m., rise and grind. Friday morning, buddy. What's up?
It is. And you know what? It's Friday the 13th.
And
really? Didn't we just have a Friday the 13th like last month or something?
I don't know. Maybe.
I didn't realize that they
Is that why crypto's down?
No, absolutely not. Crypto's down because our Congress sucks.
Yeah, well, that and $100
and the bankers
getting close to $100 a barrel oil isn't helping. Of course, that's always
it's like $80.
No, it's 90 some odd dollars, 93.45, man.
Went back up again?
Yeah, it's going up. I'm not sure maybe after they blew up that ship in the Strait of Hormuz, maybe that's what did it. I don't know. Not good. They're throwing up their transponders, but it is what it is. All right. Well, listen, you know what the show is all about. If you like the show, of course, thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that follow button. Tell your friends and family they want to learn crypto from a couple of guys from, the back east. It's how we do it. We try to keep it simple. The education pieces are always amazing. And, of course, if you love the show, you can always throw us a tip in that Rumble crypto wallet. And you can hit us up if you want to go over to our wallets, you can find us over at thebigmig.com. George has got our crypto wallets linked up there. Makes it easy for you. Or you can throw us a Rumble Rand tip or a $5 subscription. All of it matters. And for those out there that would like to sponsor the #1 crypto show in Rumble, hit us up over at info@thebigmig.com. That's right, info@thebigmig.com. Check us out. You can also hit us up over at info@solum.global. Another way to get a hold of us. We're excited. Lots going on over at Solum. They've got they just had an article written about them that's pretty exciting. So we're excited for those guys over there, excited for ourselves, of course. And that's it. So listen, besides crypto, you know what else George and I love? We love our gold. What do we love? Man, we love prepper bars. Why? Because it's a great solution, right? This is the 62.2 gram prepper bar. They're perforated, easily broken down to your choice of 3 separate denominations. You can see when I tilt that bar, you can kind of see them. There's a small, a medium, large. Just break off a piece, snap off a small piece to make a payment. It makes it easy. You don't want to have to walk around with a pair of 10 snips and a 1 ounce gold token or silver token. What are these good for? They're good for asset protection from inflation, diversification, economic turmoil, or its very unique utility for barter and trade. Prepper bar is a perfect gift. There isn't anybody that isn't going to want one of these for a birthday gift, stocking stuffer, anniversary. At these prices, gold and silver, everybody holds on to it. I've still got gold and silver my dad gave me when I was a child. And that's the kind of thing you hold on to it. You pass it on to family members. It's not often that you liquidate it. Unless, of course, you get into a jam. It's still very liquid. And at these prices, I know a lot of people are selling their gold. So head over to the bigmigbar.com. You can use that QR code, take a snapshot, go there after the show. Thebigmigbar.com. And here's your gift, the prepper code, right? All caps prepper for the promo code. PREPPER, that's PREPPER. 10% off on the silver, 5% off on the gold. Thebigmigbar.com.
Break me off a piece of that prepper bar.
Bada bing.
Bada boom. Bada bing.
Well, we like to do kind of a variety here. We had a great guest. If you didn't catch it the other day, I recommend you go back and catch Wednesday's episode. And this show is always every Wednesday and Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard. But if you didn't catch that episode, great interview about a great product. So I definitely would watch it. Well worth the watch. Very knowledgeable guy, Maxime Galash. So George put together a great education piece. I'm going to let him kick it off here. It's the 2026 DeFi revolution, baby. The revolution is real. AI, smarts, seamless change, total privacy, and one stable dollar everywhere. That's how we do it. George, take it away, brother.
Oops. Hold on. I was just doing something, fixing something.
Gotcha.
I thought you were going to go a little longer there, buddy, but all right. You want me to get into the nitty gritty? What are we talking about? We're talking about 2026 DeFi revolution. What comes with that? I'm going to call it AI smarts, seamless chains, total privacy, and one stable dollar everywhere. And just before I go further, Lance, I seen that last story that you put in. Yeah, suspect at best.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
I look. Listen. Sometimes we're picking out stories, and I see stories, and then there's some that just ring true. There was a story I caught at the very end when I was looking for news.
I almost feel like I want to do it now, but
like, oh my God, I've got to grab this story for George. I wouldn't have done it to him, but I got to have it. We're going to wrap the show up with it because I knew he'd get a kick out of it when he realized what it was. All right, go ahead, George. I didn't mean to step on you.
No, that's all right. I mean, what are we talking about? Should I do key? You know what? I'm just going to get right into it. Let's talk about AI integration and DeFi. So what happens when you get that? You get smarter yields and risk management. So AI is supercharging DeFi by handling the heavy lifting. AI is actually supercharging everything. I mean, it's taking over. A lot of people losing jobs, but there'll be more jobs created. It's predicting trends. It's auto-optimizing your positions and actually helping you dodge dangers like liquidations. AI is going to see every little data point, every little trend everywhere. It just crunches massive real-time data. And it's going to, spot you opportunities or help you get out of potential something risky that's going to decline. It doesn't matter. It'll automate trades, lending, even help you manage the risk dynamically. Ooh, sounds so good. So let me give you some examples. Now, AI agents auto switch your funds to the best yield pools. That's not bad, right? It'll switch to if you have a something you got your money in where it's making 3% yield, let's just say. All of a sudden something better pops up, like it's like 3.5%. It's going to switch you to that better pool, make you more money. That's not bad, right? I think I like that. How can you not want to do that? It'll adjust borrow positions that are based on your risk level. That's right. You can set a risk level. It's your AI agent. You tell it. You set it. You set parameters if you want. And it'll help you predict volatility to protect you. But you need to learn about AI and how it works and everything. Lance's been doing a lot of courses. I have to admit, George has been lackadaisy on it. George will catch up real quick. He's got ADHD. He'll pick that shit up. But what is this going to mean for you? It's going to... Okay, go by your computer, right? You're like, I want a 3 out of 1 to 10.
Do you have to make that noise when you go to your computer?
Yeah, out of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest risk level. I want to set it at a 5 risk level, okay? Whatever, you set your parameters. You set it and forget it. Set it and forget it. We can make that a song. You get passive earning. No more staring at charts all day. Now, for beginners, you could try AI optimized vaults on platforms like Morpho or New DeFi. I think it's DEFAI. Tools for easy starts. You know what, Lance? I'm gonna even put up the thing here. Oh, shame on me for not putting up the chart. Here's an AI model right here. AI cuts the human mistakes and runs 24/7 in volatile markets. Now, we always talk about, crypto's 24/7. And let's face it, you can't be in your computer 24/7. After the break, you'll hear me talk about something about that too. But it's tough just being in front of your computer 5-6 hours a day staring at the screens. It ain't easy. It's rough on the eyes, rough on the brain, and it's just rough on your overall health. Sitting in the chair, it's not healthy. And it's definitely not good. You want to try to get away from that? Let the AI do the work. You just tell it what to do.
And George, let me jump in here for just a second, just because the audience may or may not grasp some of this stuff. So previously, you guys know that most of these, AI, you have these agents, you go talk to them and they can write a book or they can write a blog or they can write a post for you. But what we're talking about now is the implementation of what you have to call, they're called agentic AI. And those are autonomous systems. They're not like the passive chatbots or something completely different. They use these large language models, right? The LLMs, and they're going to be able to reason, plan, and then they're going to take a multi-step action to achieve those goals. And there's not going to have to be a lot of human oversight. Once you get the initial agentic agent trained, and that's where you see all these people going, oh, I've got to buy a Mac Mini, I've got to buy a Mac Studio, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do, and factually, if you're not thinking about doing things like that for your own business, maybe in your own life, you're probably doing yourself a disservice, because all these systems, they're going to be built with, Lang chain, auto GP, GPT, which is, chat GPT with the automated version. You've got Claude Code. You've got other systems, Malt Code, I think it's called Claude Malt Code. I can't remember now, but that's the one that Facebook, that Zuckerberg's buying for $1 billion. The guy wrote it in a year, getting $1 billion for his company.
Right.
So they're going to be able to interact with all these APIs, your social media, your accounts, maybe if you have customer lists, these kind of things. And the reason what George said is so powerful, that index fund being controlled by an agentic and being able to automatically switch overnight, you might miss that. Let's just say you're staking and you're getting 3%, like George said somewhere, and all of a sudden there's a new offer on staking at 7%. Well, if you've already, told your AI, your agentic agent, we'll call this agentic agent George, and you've already told George, hey, if I get a better opportunity, make sure you change me up for the higher return. That's why it's so powerful, because now you control it. It's like a personal assistant that's working 24/7, 365 for you.
So I want to bring up something because you said something. So
Yeah.
talked about with agentic AI agents. Oh, might have to get a bigger computer. You can also use their web version.
Yeah. Some people are concerned about those for security right now. The reason a lot of people don't want to do this, because let's say theoretically, we'll talk about George. George is a very security top-notch guy. Like, he likes to, he's got a lot of cameras on his house. He likes to make sure all his accounts are protected. He's always paying attention if maybe his password got leaked. He's always changing it. He's doing two-person authentication, two certificate authentication. He's doing, when he can, he's doing biometrics. That's what George is all about, right? And he's right. But here's why putting it online, some people are concerned about, because right now, the security hasn't been thought all the way through. There was a nasty hack the other day on some agentic agents. And now if you connect, say,
agentic agents where though?
If you connect your crypto wallets, as an example, or if you connect maybe a credit card because you want to be able to do reordering. Let's say, George, you've got a company that's selling nutraceuticals, and you've got a protein powder you like to sell, and you do really well by posting on social media. Now, it can also reorder for you. You can look at George's inventory because it knows it's got 10 orders it made last night. You're getting fulfillment done by, let's just say, Amazon. Your product's over there, and now your inventory's too low. The automated agentic agent can reorder for you, but now you're connected to credit cards and other things. It's a little bit risky right now. I'm not saying down the road those web interfaces won't be a great solution. The frightening part for some people, and I think George would probably be one of them if he really dug in, he'd find out that maybe you're connected to your social media. And what if there is a backdoor, and now all of a sudden you lose control of all your social media because somebody scraped your agentic agent on one of these web interfaces? So there's a trade-off. You got to be careful. If it's connected like that, you got to worry how much. And that's why people are taking it offline, and they want everything hosted on their own server. That way they can control the firewall, they control security. So that's one observation. But anyway, go ahead, George. I didn't mean to step on you there.
No. I'm just thinking about what you're saying. But even so, if there's weakness in the web version, then there's weakness in their app version.
Potentially, yes.
Not
But
potentially. No,
interestingly enough, there's some plugins now that have allowed you, if you've got it hosted on your own servers, if you're working off your own server, there's some security protocols you can now integrate that people have come up with. Again, I don't know if anything's secure enough, George. You never, you know how it is.
Yeah. I mean, this is a topic for another day, but plugins, where do plugins come from? They coming from that or third party?
Who knows? Yeah, good point.
Would you want a third party plugin? It's so much stuff. But anyway, let's get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to keep going. Cross-chain interoperability, which gives you seamless multi-network DeFi. Now, forget being locked into one blockchain. 2026 tech lets assist zip between networks and effortlessly. Pretty much, right? What it is? It bridges omni-chain protocols and layers that can connect chains, so you tap the best of each. You get speed, best fees, liquidity, without hassle, man. It's easy. Now here, I'll give you an example. If you go instant USDC moves from Ethereum to Solana via Circle's CCTP. Now trade with pooled liquidity across chains. They'll restake anywhere. What it means for you: cheaper fees, more options, borrow low cost, trade fast, stake high yield, all in one portfolio. Beginners? Well, we got some for beginners too. One wallet app that handles everything. I always been saying that too. Telling you. My key things that started in this crypto field. Somebody must be listening. And it's going to end your fragmentation. It's going to unlock trillions in combined liquidity. Now I'm going to pull up a chart right here and go over this little chart real quick. See this chart? This is a straightforward diagram. Blockchain logos connected by bridge arrows showing assets flowing freely. No more silos. That's your 2026 interoperability visualized right there. Gotta love that. Easy peasy. Now, we're just talking, we always talk about security, and we're going to talk about privacy in this DeFi. You have ZK proofs and confidential transactions, right? We like confidentiality. That's the whole part of crypto. That and then no government. So you have public blockchains, they'll show everything. Privacy tech like ZK proofs that changes that while keeping trust intact, which is huge. It's zero knowledge proofs that let you prove something, like, I don't know, enough collateral, whatever, without revealing the numbers or details. Now, I'll give you an example. Private loans on ZK layers. They have hidden DAX trades, institutions, masking strategies, but staying compliant. So shield your portfolio from snoops or front runners, ideal for big moves or basic privacy. Beginners, privacy, wallets, protocols for everyday use. And it's surging. I'm telling you, I think that's a big thing right there. Institutions need it. ZK enables safe, scalable real world adoption. Now, I got to put up another.
Yeah, and this really breaks it down really well. So
You want
when
to break it down? Good.
Zero knowledge proofs, they're going to let you prove something, right? Is there enough collateral without revealing the number or the details? So think about that. It's kind of covering up. You might have a very, very, valuable wallet, high level numbers. And maybe you don't want to reveal the full amount. So the ZK proof would allow that the approval of, say, you wanted to pull a low interest loan against some of your liquidity. You wouldn't have to necessarily acknowledge how much you had exactly, but this would still validate that you were more than qualified based on the amount that was in your wallet. And then that verifier, they can check the proof is really valid. They'll be able to authenticate whether or not what's provided. Now, for people that have cheated on mortgage applications or loan applications, this is going to be a problem for them because, of course, now we're talking about blockchain authentication of something that's been submitted. Very valuable. And, of course, that blockchain is going to take that small proof that the computation was done correctly. It's going to re-authenticate, right? It's going to say, okay, it looks to me like this computation was done right. They do have enough collateral, more than enough. Absolutely, this is an approvable, if it was a liquidity issue for a loan, it's approvable. And of course, that's going to let the senders and the receivers and amounts stay private while still proving the transaction follows all the rules needed, in this case, to be approved for that loan I was mentioning. So the verification is going to be ridiculously fast. You're not going to have to go to like normally you'd submit a packet to a bank and it's going to take forever. No, this is going to happen like this, which makes these zero knowledge proofs really useful for both privacy, scaling, and of course, in some cases, people want access to that liquidity immediately. They have a last minute need. Maybe it's a health issue. Maybe it's a family issue. Who knows what it is? They need it. They need it now. When you go to a bank, it's never now. It's, oh, well, we need this. Oh, we need your last year's tax returns. Oh, did you amend? Oh, this, that. It goes back and forth. And of course, in this case, you're shielding that portfolio. You're making sure that you've got all the moves for basic privacy. And listen, it's going to be, you're going to be able to take things like this into everyday use because it's going to protect and it's going to encrypt more of your data, meaning it's going to make sure that it's not accessible to everybody, which I think, what's the value of that, George? It's huge.
It's always huge. Everything's huge in life, especially when it comes to crypto. Easier, faster, more secure, better savings, better yield, everything.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to talk about one of our favorites, unified stablecoins. What's that? Well, $1 everywhere on chain, unified, right? Their stablecoins they're not going to be, I should retract that. They are evolving and they're going to work natively across chains. No more fragmentation or extra steps. That's the way it should be. So omni-chain tech lets one stablecoin like USDC or USDT burn or mint instantly across networks. Now, if you take Circle CCTP for USDC coin, Tether's unified USDT, they're powering payments, AI agents, and yields chain agnostically. You're talking about scalability across everything is seemingly smoother, faster. You can send, receive dollars globally in seconds, man. Seconds with lower fees. Forget about the banks. How long does it take for banks? Doesn't take seconds. How
Forever.
big are the fees? Oh,
Yeah,
we always
global
say
wires are just insane how long they take.
a $2,000 wire from California to Colorado, both the sender and the receiver get charged $15. That is crazy. $15 for an electronic little thing going. Brrr.
And this is why the banks are pissing and moaning, because they don't want to lose
Yeah.
that $15 both ways. Because let's face it, once people find out that they don't have to go to, a Western Union or a bank and get cracked, even PayPal,
Correct.
you send money and you see some of these fees and you're like, son of a gun, look at this freaking fee on this. And then your family member, in our case, once in a while, my wife is sending money back to Africa, back to her family there. And she'll be like, I sent that money yesterday and they still haven't gotten access to it. And I keep telling her, well, why aren't you using, a crypto wallet? Why aren't you using blockchain? And she's still slow to catch on to it because she's not really involved in it like we are. And, and I won't get into any battle about it. I'll just say, okay, well, let me know when you want to try to set it up and I'll show you how you can do it much faster.
It's not worth
But I think
battling
she's
with your
concerned
wife.
about the family members on the other side setting up crypto wallets and keeping their seed phrases protected.
Yeah,
Which
that's
I
possible.
think she's right.
But let's look at something right here. Take a step back, take a breath, and look at this visual. It's a single stablecoin bridging networks worldwide with dollar flows. Look at it. It's borderless money in action. That's what unified stablecoins is. How do you tell me you wouldn't want that? It's a stablecoin. It's always going to be pegged at $1. You're not going to lose value. It's not like it's other cryptos where they go up or down in value, or stocks. Doesn't happen. Just thinking of it like your dollar bill. How it's always worth $1. Stablecoin, always worth $1. Can't go wrong. You want to close this out on this, or?
Well, look, I think you guys just have to realize this is happening. I know some people out there are like, oh, I don't know, it's overwhelming. It's definitely overwhelming. I'm looking at AI every single day and I'm blown away by how complicated it is. But these are top DeFi trends that we do. George always tries to look. We use AI to do it to make sure that we're really on top of it. AI and DeFi are one of the top trends out there. Cross-chain interoperability, top. Privacy, DeFi, and these ZKs we just mentioned, top. And asset tokenization and NFTs, there's no doubt that real world assets are all going to be put on the chain. It's going to be part of the authentication process. I'd love that they would put the election process on tokenization, but we can't even get voter ID. So you know how that is. But look, in new cryptocurrencies, they're going to have to meet a much stricter threshold. I think the meme coin world is going to continue to get crushed down because I've always felt like it did a real disservice to decentralized finance and blockchain. A lot of people have lost tremendous amounts of money messing around with meme coins, hoping that they'd hit that monster one, hoping they'd hit the next Doge or the next Godius Maximus or the next fart coin. And me, I've always thought that some of those coins were really just created, that the people that created the coin are making all the money because, of course, they wait for movement and then they do a pump and dump. So, this is the thing. When you look at it from this perspective, DeFi is definitely maturing. You're seeing institutional acceptance. You're seeing regulation. And it's coming into something really powerful. It's intelligent. It's private. And it's going to be truly globally connected. Now, AI is going to automate gains. It's going to automate all these cross-chain open doors. It's going to, really continue to improve privacy. Unified stablecoins, as George mentioned, are going to make it practical for real life. It's not going to be like you're not going to be able, oh, well, they don't accept that token, or I tried to pay with crypto, but they wouldn't accept. All that's going away. This is going to get easier and easier. And as George pointed out, there are going to be wallets that one wallet's going to rule them all. Somebody's going to come on and they're going to have every single chain, every single token, and it's going to be very easy to do it. You're going to be able to check, oh, look, Ripple's paying 7% on staking. I think I better move my assets over there. Or you're going to be able to talk, oh, Coinbase is doing a special. You're going to see it, and AI is going to analyze it and say, hey, by the way, George, if you move over your Bitcoin over here, you're going to get this, plus you get a bonus of these additional tokens. It might be worth taking a look at. And George's going to look at the report and say, hey, that sounds good. Let's go ahead and make the move. I'm saying that you want to dip your toes in safely in the beginning. Start with some stable coins. Start with one wallet. Test an AI vault. Bridge a small amount of tokens or money. Try these ZK tools. Give them a shot. Don't do a lot of money. Do a small amount. Send maybe between two friends. You guys can practice together. You have one wallet. They have their wallet. You can sit across from each other in the same room. You don't have to do it online. You can sit there and actually talk your way through it. That way, if you make a mistake, you're not going to get hurt. And I think this isn't hype. This is going to be a big deal. So number one, I want you to hit us up on the chat. Tell us what you think. And if there's a topic you'd like us to cover, like George to put an education piece together, and you're like, man, I really don't understand this, hit us up over our email. Hit us at info@thebigmig.com, or jump in, go over there and follow Solum Global or Crypto Power Hour, and hit us in DMs. We're listening. We want to help you guys. We want to give you, because, we're trying to give you kind of the blue collar version. You go on a lot of shows and they talk right over your head. Even myself and George were like, what the frick is this guy talking about? It's confusing. We're trying to break it down in a simple manner. So hopefully you love the education pieces. We'll be doing more of them. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back with the Crypto Power Hour. I've got some great stories and news to cover. Lots going on right now. And I think it's important, especially with all these kinetic events and global unrest. So be right back. Crypto Power Hour. George, let's rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, it's Friday. Weekend's coming. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't make me send Lance after you.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, powered by Solum Global. Here with your host, Lance Migliaccio, George Ballantine. It's Friday. It's the weekend. But most importantly, we have the Big Mig Mafia. Oh, the Crypto Mafia in the chat.
That's a little crossover from our other show.
I mean, they're the same people, so Big Mig Crypto Mafia. I got to just start calling you guys. Anyway, if you got a chance, hit the thumbs up button, follow, like, share. If you do to subscribe, we appreciate it. $5 a month helps with overhead, helps with everything. But remember when I was talking about like the AI agents about, cryptos 24/7, and you can't sit there all the time. Well, guess what? Lance and I have the perfect solution for the people that can't watch their crypto 24/7. That's right. I'm talking about BlockTrustIRA.com. They're bringing cryptocurrency wealth to everyday Americans. Their exclusive NMSAI trading platform works 24/7, analyzing market data and executing advanced crypto strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. Now, this was sophisticated technology, once reserved only for Wall Street insiders, but now it's available to you. And it's no surprise that this system was named #1 crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. And clients, they're already seeing over 250% returns on their investments, all with military-grade security and up to $200 million insurance. Your wealth is fully protected, so don't wait. Visit BigMigCrypto.com today and see how you can join this financial revolution. Once again, visit BigMigCrypto.com today, and you can get up to $2,500 of free crypto. QR code's right here next to me. Take a screenshot, save it to your photo files, but do it later because we got some more stories to cover. We got some interesting stuff too to cover. Oh, what a day! What a day! I was going to start that NVIDIA thing, but I'm going to say that for the end too. We got two surprise ending stories for you guys.
We got a couple of good ones. The NVIDIA story, you guys will appreciate what's going on there. But interesting.
This is huge. I mean, we got a bunch of big stories, but this one's huge because MasterCard launches new crypto partner program. They came out with this global initiative that's going to actually bring together more than 85 industry leaders, ensuring that what's next works with what already does. And that we're talking about crypto because crypto's next. Digital assets, they're entering a new phase. Lance, I know you got the video. I had the video. I don't know if you want to play it now while we talk or what do you want to do?
Well, I think we should go over it a little bit because why this is big news is we always talk about, institutional, involvement, right? We always talk about how it in this market before the institutions, because of the regulation, didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. You saw a lot of banks, if they heard you were in crypto, they would close your accounts. So, and of course, you have to think about the banking system. They're not always, they don't necessarily want innovation when they control the market so effectively now. But this is a real global initiative, and we're talking about it's already brought together more than 85 top industry leaders. So, this is a new phase for digital assets. There's no doubt. Mm-hmm. And I think when you start talking how crypto, once ran in these parallel to existing financial systems, now it's being brought into real world needs. It's happening behind the scenes. Ripple making massive moves. I still can't believe XRP is as cheap as it is. But you're talking about things like cross-border remittance, like we just covered a minute ago, business-to-business money transfers, enterprise and institutional use cases like payouts for settlement, cross-border money movement, and they're all beginning to take hold. It's happening and I want to say it's happening in a way that it's all happening simultaneously. It's not like one push and then slowly over here. Everything's moving very quickly. And of course, this is going to create a lot of new opportunities to add value on how money moves globally. And the companies that are doing it, like MasterCard now, and this crypto partner program, this is big stuff. And you have to learn from the innovation and the innovators, I think, building on-chain every day. And this program alone is going to allow a lot of expertise and insights to flow both ways. And this is how they're doing it. So this is a major move, George.
I have a question. I haven't looked into it so much on this story, but is this a credit card where they give you a credit limit, like a crypto credit limit?
There's a couple of different versions. And this is really a total ecosystem. So what it's going to mean potentially through this crypto card program, there's going to be a lot of collaboration, a lot of innovation. And yes, George, that you may be able to access, let's say you have a large crypto, let's say you have $1 million in Bitcoin somewhere, theoretically. You'll have this card connected to it. Now the card might, number one, have a credit line. Of course, it's given to you not only based on your credit, but it's given to you based on the fact that you have this large crypto asset. You also may be able to take the card and you'll be able to transfer Bitcoin for payments. Let's say you have to send some sats over because you bought a cup of coffee or whatever else it is. That card is going to have more than one use, is my understanding right now. So when you look at the companies that are involved, it's clear that these people all believe in what MasterCard just did, because these are major players. And I grabbed their commercial so the audience could see the volume of participants
before you
already. Yeah, they've already made the deal. These people are already locked in. This is not.
So we'll play it, and then I'll talk while it's playing. Because
let's go.
It's got a little background music, I think, somewhere in it. I don't know. But here's my thing with this. I don't know if I'm liking it yet. I need more information, but do I want a MasterCard connected to all my different crypto, where, God forbid, you lose a card or somebody, you know how people use cards to buy stuff, fraudulent stuff? Mm-hmm. That's one reason. Why can't I just go with my phone when I'm at a place buying something, my wallet to their wallet? Ring. Send it that way. Number three, actually, is what kind of fees are they going to charge? Because we know these credit card companies charge crazy fees. You know, you get hit with transaction fees now when you just go now using a credit card. The whole point of crypto is you don't got to pay those crazy transaction fees like that. So, I mean, there's a lot to see what's going on with this. Sounds good. We'll see. I mean, I got to look more into this list. Huh?
Talk about a who's who, right? I mean, just everybody's on this list. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to who's on there, but it's the who's who of every large crypto company that you would think would want to be involved. Ripple's on there, you know, BitGo, Chainalysis, Circle, Cosmos. I mean, this is the list. PayPal, People's Group, Plume, Polygon. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. I'm impressed that all of them have agreed. So, George, you're right. There's a lot to be seen yet. When we find out about fees, you find out about interest. Listen, if you've got a secured asset, the interest should be low to begin with. They're saying, though, what they're saying to the public is the fees are going to be extremely low. What does that mean? The fees are going to be extremely low, you know, based on current MasterCard rates, current MasterCard fees, or are they going to be extremely low in the world of finance? So that is yet to be seen. That part hasn't been fully vetted out from what I've seen, although maybe they've already got the deal done behind the scenes. But that's a great observation. We'll stay on top of that. We'll let you guys know how valuable this is, because, of course, we want to make sure that you're ahead of it also. So, great stuff.
I don't know if Paraguay is getting ahead of things. I think they might bring themselves a little backwards here, because they're adopting stricter crypto oversight and they're mandating detailed transactions on Bitcoin reporting. Ooh, mandating it. I don't know if I like that. I don't. Paraguay's tax authority now requires residents and crypto platforms to report, get this, nearly all digital asset transactions over 5,000, including wallet addresses and transaction hashes, aiming to integrate cryptocurrencies into the national tax system while raising privacy concerns. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not good.
You know, that's how the governments operate, though. They see money and they want to figure out how to get a chunk of it. You know, I agree with you. I think this is, and they call it, this is General Resolution number 47/26. And now it's going to require comprehensive, I hate that word, comprehensive reporting for all Bitcoin and crypto activity.
Forget about it.
Look, they want to make sure they're getting their pound of flesh. I can see what's going on here, but at the end of the day, I guess it's going to come down to what the tax basis is going to be. If the asset has already increased in value, are they going to tax you even before you liquidate? Are they going to say, oh, well, it's worth this much USDT, and because of that, you've made money? Are you paying capital gains even before you sell it? Because when it's sitting in a wallet, you could be transferring between assets. It's going to be the minute you transfer to a second asset. So, these guidelines, they want to improve anti-money laundering as their claim and reduce international scrutiny. I don't know how much international scrutiny they're getting. I haven't heard Paraguay's name come up in any of the discussions here in the United States. But maybe I missed it. Maybe it's not quite. But of course,
here's
that
a
crypto oversight is always concerning for George and I.
Well, here's a question that I'm trying to figure out, because they also doing, the government in Paraguay is also moving to mine Bitcoin. But guess what? They're going to mine Bitcoin using seized rigs and to develop tokenization projects. Seized rigs. Why would you have to seize rigs if mining is legal? And is that going to put a fine line? Like, I think if they know of entities or people have good up-to-date rigs, are they going to try to bring bogus thing and take it? You know how governments are.
You do know how governments are.
I'm just
Grab
saying.
a rig and take it. Take that rig.
I mean,
I agree with you, man. Look, I'm not. I'm kind of surprised. I'm surprised we haven't heard some of that coming out of the U.S. because there's been some seizures of mining.
Don't give me any ideas, Lance. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I know. It's one. I'm trying not to. You're right. Good point. But it is. I'm sure I don't need to give them that idea. They probably already have it, knowing this government.
I mean, you're talking of government. You're talking like you need like huge mining apparatuses.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
We'll see.
We're gonna see.
All right.
We're gonna see a story next week. Government seizes Bitcoin mining.
Yeah. As seen on the Crypto Power Hour, George and Lance.
Not George, Lance. I didn't say nothing.
We get a thank you, George. I'm going to say it was George's idea. That's George's fault.
Lance.
He came up with that.
Lance.
All right.
Lance.
Let's talk about.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
All I gotta do is go to videotape, bro. We got it right here recorded.
Yeah, I'm going to delete all these videos.
You can't delete nothing. It's on my computer, bro.
It's all George. I'm going to hack the back end. I'm going to get.
Good luck. Yeah, you hack.
I don't need it. I got a hacker guy. I got a guy now. I got a guy.
Right. You got your guy. I got better guys.
No, not this guy.
Yeah, okay.
This guy's. No, you're not. You're forgetting.
No, you're not getting it. I got the top 15. He's in the top 15 hackers in the world.
Okay, well then, what are you doing? Let's get some information from different places. All right, let's
just
get
telling
to
you.
it.
And it's a family member.
Prediction markets are hot in the news. Poly market, Kalshi, you've heard about all of it. And now the CFTC is going to set the rules of the road, they say. I believe some of this has got to do with some of the insider, interesting. Some people bet like on the Iran war when it was going to trigger, and it was uncanny. They've bet on other parts of the kinetic events. Some people say it's because they work in the Department of Defense. It's happening in different locations. It goes on and on. But this guidance is warning these exchanges to avoid listing contracts that could be easily manipulated. Andrew Tate's another one. Supposedly his posting, he's been making money on his own posts. A lot of people have been making money on Elon Musk's posts, citing examples such as bets tied to injuries or other narrowly defined sports outcomes, which is interesting because, of course, you could try to get an outcome if you were somebody that was taking care of physical therapy in a, let's say, an NFL team, and you could get that listed on Polymarket. You might know inside information. That's what they're talking about.
Hey, I know a guy.
Exactly. Prediction markets have surged in popularity. Of course, platforms like we discussed, Kalshi, Polymarket, and others, they're seeing record trading volumes and reportedly explaining fundraising rounds at valuations, and I quote, nearly $20 billion for Polymarket alone. So you're looking at the U.S. Commodity and Futures Trading Commission. This new guidance, they released it Thursday. They're looking for these exchanges. They have to approach, listing prediction market contracts a little more closely, which is kind of a shot across the bow and warning them. And, these prediction markets, you guys know this is going to they allow these buyers to, they buy and sell contracts. If you haven't checked it out, you should. A lot of people making a lot of money tied to the outcome of real world events. And it's, of course, some of these, the most popular examples include wagers on elections, economic data releases, sporting events, other things that have to do with crypto and strange things like assassinations. So these state gaming regulators argue that certain sports-related event contracts amount to unlicensed gambling because they're losing their gambling. Here's what's happening. The sports bookies are upset because a lot of people are moving to Polymarket, and it's a much fairer system, unlike a lot of sports betting, which is controlled in a lot of ways, and you guys know about it. So they're saying that these structured contracts should be controlled by the CFTC. Why do they want that? They want regulation because they don't want the gambling to go away from their, the booking agencies or online agencies. So, but I think Polymarket, if you are going to sports bet, you're better off doing it over there. Now they're worried about the manipulation risks. So there's a lot of controversial, involving alleged insider trading or insider information.
Well,
Lots of ethical debates,
it's funny you say that because you brought up Andrew Tate and you say they
Yeah.
bet on what he's going to do or this and that.
Yeah, it's
I
posting.
guarantee that he is involved with that and he's got people putting bets in with him or for
Yeah.
him or both
Yeah.
because he's a shady mofo.
Yeah. And he loves money. You know that. I mean, and let's face it, those operations he's run have paid for a very, very affluent lifestyle with, $1 million watches, multi-million-dollar cars, multi-million-dollar properties in Dubai, Romania, and elsewhere. So, but one of the examples they used was online. There's an online analytics chain called Bubble Maps, and they flagged a cluster of newly funded wallets, brand new wallets that had no trading history, that collectively earned roughly $1 million of betting on polymarket contracts tied to the potential U.S. strike on Iran. We were talking about it on air. We were just talking about it. We didn't place any bets. George would have made money had he placed his bet. I would have lost. And that was before those airstrikes were ever launched. Now, a lot of people say the guy was tracking the planes leaving from Israel. He had used a tracking software he had. That's one of the wallets. But other people feel like some people inside the defense agencies, global defense agencies, done it. Kalshi faced a bunch of backlash over a contract titled Al Khomeini Out as Supreme Leader. And that was based on the Iranian being killed. They argued that market functioned as a proxy death market. Look, it is what it is.
Like
a
contract.
We knew he wasn't going to make it.
Like a contract out in his life.
Yeah. So they're saying that contracts that are tied to violent events, Democrats, as usual, introduced legislation dubbed listen to the title of this, George, the Death Bets Act.
What?
That would ban prediction markets contracts tied to death, war, or assassinations. I don't know if I agree with that. Look, if you want to take a position over there in Iran right now in leadership, it's likely that you might not survive. I think if you take, so so I think they're basically saying, the CFTC is saying, we don't want manipulation, we don't want insider trading, we don't want any abuse in these markets. But look, I think I don't like the control. Look, I'm not saying there's going to be, but there's insider trading in Wall Street constantly. Look, if they're going to do that, then what are we going to do about the insider trading in the Congress?
Yeah.
When are we going to do that? I mean, they're talking about insider trading. Why aren't they coming out with legislation to stop them from doing it? They're not. Every time it's submitted, it always never gets passed because they don't want it. They want to be able to insider. So I think this is the pot calling the kettle black. I don't want to hear anything from the Democrats. I'll tell you what, I'll listen to you once you pass laws to stop insider trading in Congress. I like these arbitrage markets. I think I think it's fair, but poly market growth has been through the roof. The volume's been through the roof. And I think at this point, it's here to stay. If you don't know about it, you might want to engage it. You could have just fun. There's some very low-end contracts you can buy for pennies, and you can make lots of upside. I'm not telling you to be a gambler. I think you can use AI and other tools to maybe effectively, hone your odds. But if you like to have some fun and you got a couple of bucks, it's no different than playing the lottery or Powerball. So in my opinion, check it out if you're interested. I like Polymarket. I like what they're doing. I like Kalshi too. I think they're both great institutions that are making some big moves. So let's talk about the SEC and CFTC. They seem like they're ending this regulatory gridlock, a turf war. That's mine. It's just, and I think they've now come to the table, which is important for regulation. Some kind of a joint crypto coordination deal, George.
Yeah, you think so? I don't know.
They
signed a formal memorandum on this.
Yeah,
with an understanding
memorandum. I love it.
To coordinate digital asset oversight and the years of judicial conflict. That actually was, this judicial conflict was forcing crypto firms to navigate competing regulatory demands simultaneously. Like, it was crazy. This should have been done a long time ago. It was just, I don't know, they call it memorandum agreement, whatever. I don't know. But it establishes 6 priority areas. Shared crypto asset taxonomy. As long as they get them taxes, baby.
Exactly. I was thinking that.
Coordinated enforcement decisions, joint regulatory examinations, policy making alignment, and a new harmonization website for simultaneous agency input on firm applications and confidential supervisory data sharing between the two bodies. Sounds like a disaster, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. The terminology joint harmonization makes me uneasy.
Harmonization for them, not for us.
Yeah, not for us. Exactly.
I mean, this is, I don't know.
They're harmonizing. They want good reporting. They want transparency. But look, anything that kind of smooths the guidelines for regulation. I personally don't believe the SEC should be involved in crypto at all. I think personally they ought to stay in their freaking lane. But, look.
You know what? All these Ackerman agencies all have all these things, but nobody really does anything.
Yeah.
Like the FBI, CIA,
harmonization.
NSA.
I'm going to add that to the Ackerman. Yeah.
I mean, what is the other one? What's the one for like for online stuff? Like if you're posting and getting paid, what is it? FEC, whatever it is. I don't even know.
No, FCC.
FCC, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they all got to have their piece. But they don't even enforce that. And when it comes to the Democrat sided posting, they never get any regulation quotes. You're supposed to, just like we do, when you have sponsors, you're supposed to acknowledge it in your posting, in the actual promotion, in the post online. You run a commercial, you're supposed to preliminary, like we do. We tell you that, Block Trust IRA sponsors this show. So it is what it is, But at the end of the day, look, that's, it's all part of the model, but they ought to enforce it. A lot of people are doing it and they're tricking people online. But I think what Atkins said this year was important. For far too long, market participants have been forced to navigate regulatory boundaries and roadblocks, right? I think it's good. Anytime we get some clarity and people can move faster to market and we're, is U.S. regulation finally going to get passed? I don't know. With this Congress, I don't know if anything's going to get friggin' passed. Donald Trump saying he's not going to sign it anyway if they don't get off their ass and, go ahead and approve the SAVE Act. So voter ID, but now they don't want to do it because they want to be able to cheat. All right, George, this one's for you, man.
All right, let me just do this because
I'm throwing it to you. I found it. I started, oh my God, I got to put this in here for George. This is exactly what he was talking about. Go ahead, man.
Now, this is coming from ARK Investments. They're saying Bitcoin faces no immediate quantum threat. Bullshit. They say, but are Satoshi Nakamoto's holdings at risk? They say quantum threat to Bitcoin is distant. I don't know. They say some argue that older Bitcoin could be exposed in the future, including Satoshi Nakamoto's holdings. People, when quantum computing comes out, if you don't have quantum security to combat that, whatever you have is at risk. Someone spam call I'm getting. This early in the morning, bastards. Don't call me.
They got to start early. But, they are right about one thing. The early Bitcoin wallets, that peer-to-peer, before it got upgraded, those on-chain wallets, especially people that got in very early, are currently at higher risk than the later wallets. It's interesting because the code got modified. They were improving it.
No doubt.
The very early acceptors, the very early people have a problem. There's no doubt.
I agree with you, but every wallet's at risk until they figure that out. Even the blockchain could be at risk. I mean, listen, it's quantum computing, man. It's a lot to take in. But I don't know.
ARK investors say it's going to be gradual over years or decades. I disagree with that.
Who's this Willy Woo? What did you say? Many OGs
he's a guy that posts online. He's definitely a valuable poster. And they're saying that that basically it's not going to happen right away. Now, Saylor comes out. Michael Saylor said, and I'm going to leave the woo thing up there just for a second. Quantum computing won't break Bitcoin. It will harden it. Now, that's not true. Michael Saylor is saying that because, of course, he's a Bitcoin maxi and has to say it. He needs Bitcoin to be as secure as possible because what he doesn't need is a bigger downturn. He's already got enough issues. But it's the older coins. And what Wu is talking about here is what I said. It's those peer-to-peer early addresses, including Satoshi's. Okay, their public keys are in the open and are vulnerable. Now, a lot of people, are going to suggest, oh, no, that's just, you're suggesting a flash crash or you're suggesting this. No, Vitalik Buterin, he's a very knowledgeable guy. He's Ethereum's co-founder. He warned that the industry should begin prepping sooner rather than later for potential quantum breakthroughs. And I believe that's what's going to happen, George. Like you said, quantum computing is going to jump. He said there's roughly 20% chance that quantum computers capable of breaking current cryptographic systems could emerge before 2030. ARK is saying 2030. He's saying sooner. Prediction platforms like Metaculus, they're saying sooner than 2030. And that's the bet, right? That's what they're talking about. So, a lot of people, Buterin stressed that the risk is not immediate, but significant enough to warrant early planning. And I'm going to quote him: "The quantum threat is no longer just distant science fiction," arguing that developers should begin preparing now and should prepare migration paths towards quantum-resistant cryptography. Now, we told you that many times on our regular show and this show. George is right. All these current levels of encryption, they will be like child's play for quantum computing. And I'm not convinced that our own federal government hasn't already cracked the full nut on quantum computing, and I'm sure Israel has also. And that would mean that most likely China and Russia, if not already there, are on the cusp. And let's face it, one of the biggest hackers of all countries in the world is North Korea. They are working on quantum computing as we speak. If they get to it first, get ready for a lot of clowns to be cleaned out. So in simple terms, I think you have to look at the private keys. That's, those are the secret numbers proving ownership of Bitcoin. Public keys, that's the visible cryptographic key used to verify transactions. And then don't forget about the ECDSA signature. Those are the mathematical proofs confirming a transaction was authorized by the private key, which theoretically, if they cracked that, they could act like a transfer was legitimate, put the fake new key in there, and then money could just be moved rapidly, and it's being authenticated by their hack. So, look, there's a lot of algorithms out there. Shor's algorithm is one of them, if you haven't heard of it, and that's a powerful quantum system, which could theoretically solve the mathematical problems underlying those signatures I just mentioned, the ECDSAs, and it could do it much faster. So if the attackers achieve that capability, they could derive that private key from a public key and forge those digital signatures, which means what? Boom. They could spend those coins they do not own into their own wallets. So crazy stuff. We'll keep you posted on it. But I think 2030, I think they're full of it. I think it's going to happen much sooner.
Yep. 2030, 4 years? Yeah, possibly. Be careful. Well, another big story. This is big. Listen, the NVIDIA-backed company, and they just announced this, that they're going to mine Bitcoin, but guess where? In space. This is like the first time ever in history.
Yeah.
Why are they going to mine in space? Solar energy. It's cheaper. I don't know. Like the cost of getting that mining machine, whatever, up there. I don't know. I mean, how much is it going to cost to get whatever equipment rig or whatever it is up there in space?
Well, you know what I'm wondering?
It ain't cheap, bro.
I'm wondering about Elon Musk and if he's involved in this in any manner, because you have to think that if anybody can get into space more cheaply than anyone else, it would have to be Musk.
You definitely don't want to use NASA because NASA's expensive.
Yeah, I understand you're right. I have seen some of the pricing. If you want to do a scientific.
What's the other dude that's got a capsule that's taking people up there along the?
Doesn't Bezos have a company also?
Bezos and the other guy. Bezos and
Let's play this clip. I'm excited to see it because I didn't see this. George caught this story after the show was already rocking and rolling.
Here we go.
This moment right here,
Star Cloud 1 separation confirmed,
could represent the birth of an entirely new industry, data centers in space.
The problem is that data centers take up a ton of space and they need a huge amount of energy. Enter Star Cloud.
This is the beginning of a future where most new data centers are being built in space.
They're starting small, but the goal is to build massive orbital data centers that will make computing more efficient and less of a burden on the limited resources down here on Earth.
I can see why it seems like a long shot to some people. To me though, the reason for doing this is that the potential impact is absolutely massive. So even if you think there's a small percentage chance of it working, then it's worth taking this kind of risk.
Philip Johnston and his team at StarCloud recently made aerospace history when they launched a satellite into orbit carrying an NVIDIA H100 GPU.
This is the first time anybody's tried to launch data center grade terrestrial Earth-based GPUs into space. It's going to be the first of many.
While it's essentially a prototype, it's still 100 times more powerful than any computer that's ever operated in the vacuum of space. To find out how they went from an idea to launching a demo satellite in less than 2 years, we visited StarCloud's HQ in Redmond, Washington. Tell us about what StarCloud is working on.
We are building data centers in space, initially to provide GPU compute to other satellites, and then later to compete on energy cost, even with terrestrial data centers.
StarCloud's goal is to build the world's first orbital data centers, massive GPU clusters powered by constant solar energy to run AI compute at scale. Operating in a sun-synchronous orbit, they'll draw uninterrupted sunlight for energy, radiate heat into deep space, and run with zero fresh water and much lower carbon emissions than data centers down here on Earth. By taking the cloud off Earth, StarCloud can scale almost indefinitely, free from land, grid, and cooling limitations, and ultimately compete with the cost of the largest terrestrial data centers. Tell us more about how far along you are.
We started about a year and a half ago. We've designed, built, and tested our first satellite, and that will be the first satellite that will have an H100 from NVIDIA on board. The purpose of this is really to prove that our thermal management and radiation shielding techniques allow us to operate the state-of-the-art in space. We're going to be running a whole bunch of demonstration workloads on that. We'll be the first to run Gemini from Google on there. We'll be the first to do fine-tuning of model and training a model in space.
Why data centers in space? It seems like people are still struggling to get the compute that we need here, building them on Earth. Like, why is space going to be the next frontier for that?
Yeah, so we see a world where almost all data centers, anything that doesn't require very low latency, is operating in space, purely because of the constraints we're facing on energy terrestrially. And so we're building with a vision to build extremely large.
Listen, just to develop and build that satellite is, I don't know how many millions of dollars. Then to get it up there, I mean, is there going to get return on that?
Well, look at it like this. Here's the interesting thing. We're talking about free power, number one, and we're talking about uninterrupted solar power.
First of all, ain't nothing free. They're paying for it by sending it up there.
But I'm not talking about the cost, the front load cost. Let's just talk about the running costs. Bitcoin mining here uses tremendous amounts of power. Our power grid isn't capable of all the data centers they want to build for quantum computing and otherwise. Our power grid would fail if they all came online, all these massive projects. They're hoping to scale. Like China is going all in on solar. Nuclear energy, hydrogen fuel, these are all discussions. But in space, you have uninterrupted solar power. You never have any clouds. You never have any interruptions, right? Number two, temperature. Bitcoin mining needs circulation. It needs water. Big data centers needs massive amounts of water. A lot of people are talking about our aquifers and that they can't support the data centers that people want to build. Space is around, negative 400 and some odd Fahrenheit. Negative. So we're talking about, when you start talking about this, crazy, crazy freezing. So there isn't any issue of heating because they can use the vacuum of space to cool whatever they're doing for the data centers. And as data centers become more powerful, especially quantum computing, those temperatures are going to get worse and worse here on terrestrial Earth. So genius. A lot of people now, George, I'm going to give some insight to the audience. If you guys saw that Elon Musk started to switch up some about Mars versus the moon. He was talking about maybe the first step is to go to the moon and set up moon facilities.
No, he wanted to go to Mars. Now he's going back. Now he's going to the moon.
I'm sorry, Mars. Yeah, but Mars, and he wants to go to the moon.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying because he's recognizing that he needs to have access to space for data centers and the U.S. quantum computing centers that they want to use for intelligence, right, for security. They're saying that those are going to be located on the moon. That they've now, the communication speeds, there isn't enough drop speed. And the reason they're picking the moon is because, again, temperature, free solar.
I have a question.
So that is supposedly the big push behind the scenes in our intelligence.
I have a question. All right, so we build data centers, whatever, for our military on the moon. What's going to stop China from going to the moon and destroying those centers?
I want to tell you something. That is one of the big concerns, that even these data centers in space, if they found out they were being used for quantum computing, for intelligence, otherwise, why wouldn't they strike them? Absolutely a concern. We definitely have to keep that consideration.
I mean, we got
in this case,
everybody's got their own military satellites up there.
100%. It's going to get very crowded in space also. You're talking about massive solar arrays. So, but it's very,
big, bro.
It's very, very interesting. I still think it's very interesting. It's and the video is cool. I love it. We should save this for the regular show with Dr. Schwartz on Friday. We definitely want to move this over because I think the audience would love to hear some of this.
Dr. Schwartz-Rooney?
Schwarzeroni will be joining us on Friday. That's the big news.
Friday, he'll be joining us in a couple hours. What are you talking
a couple
about?
hours. Somebody said, yeah, of course, going to be joining us in a couple hours. I don't know. I lost track. I was still thinking I'm on midweek. You know, this week went by so fast, man. It flew by.
Not for
All
me,
right, listen,
Jen.
if you love the show, thumbs up, comment,
Nice.
share. Leave us a reply. Get in our comments. Blow it up. Let's get some of that volume over there at Rumble. We appreciate it. Hit the follow button. If you can do the $5 subscription, please do. If you want to throw us some Satoshis into our crypto wallets, you can do it here on our crypto wallet on Rumble. You can also hit us at thebigmig.com. Drop a couple of tokens in there just to say thanks. Maybe 10 or 15 Bitcoin. What do you say? All right, listen, George, last words. We're out of here. And don't forget one last thing. Follow solum.global on X and follow the Crypto Power Hour on X. We need those follows. We're trying to grow those bases. George, last words, my brother.
See you at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time for the Big Mig Show. If not, have a blessed weekend. I'll catch you all on the flip side, homies, and be safe because a lot of crazy stuff happened last night. Synagogues, I mean.
Situational awareness.
Oh, my God, it's crazy. Just be safe. Later.
Yeah.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.